Guys, nice work on the quiz, U2A5. There were some consistent mistakes though that I want to go over. So the first being, let me just get this going here. The first being this one here, minus y is equal to 2. So minus something is equal to 2. So that can be a little confusing. The easiest way to think of this is whenever you have a negative in front of a coefficient, or sorry, a negative as your coefficient in front of a variable, you can just treat it as negative 1y. And we don't write the negative 1 just for efficiency's sake. But if I had negative 1y is equal to 2, I treat it the same way as if I had something like this. If I had 2y is equal to 2, what I would do is I would divide each side by 2, and then I'd get y is equal to 1. Okay, and same thing here. I have negative 1y is equal to 2. Y is equal to 2 over negative 1. Y is equal to negative 2. Now, one thing I do want to point out is this answer here, anytime you have a fraction, it's going to come up here. It's going to come up later also. Whenever you have a fraction or anything, even if it can be, first of all, this should be simplified to negative 2. But even if you have a fraction with a negative, you don't want the negative in the bottom, right? So if you have a fraction coming up later, well, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But for example, if I have 2 over 3, we don't write it like that. We either write it like this with a negative on top, or we write it with a negative in front. Either way, okay? So let's go over here. Same sort of thing here. I have negative x divided by 8 is equal to negative 32. So the first step to this, so negative x divided by 8 or over 8 is equal to negative 32. First step here is to multiply each side by 8. So you're going to get negative x is equal to 256, negative 256. And at this case, so that's 32 times 8 is 256, I think. And in this situation, you're in the exact same spot you were over here, right? So you have your negative x is equal to this. And one thing to look at it now, and I'm sure a lot of you are able to do this, is if you have negative x is equal to something, you can just change the sign. So if it was negative x, in this case, if negative x is equal to 2, then, or negative y is equal to 2, you can just say y is equal to negative 2. And same here, negative x is equal to negative 256, x is equal to 256. Okay, the last question, which was B, let me just go over here, I'll do this in blue, is 3 minus 9w equal to 27. First things first, you want to get rid of the 3. So you end up with negative 9w. 3 is adding to the 9w on this side, or the negative 9w. So when you bring it over, you subtract it from both sides, and you end up with this. Okay, so negative 9w is equal to 24, because that's 27 subtract 3. So at that point, you're going to divide by the coefficient in front of the w, which is negative 9. So you have w is equal to 24 over negative 9. So this is what I was talking about earlier. That's not good for two reasons. One, I don't want the negative on the bottom, and two, this is in lowest term. So maybe it's not that obvious, but 3 goes into both of these, and you get 8/3, and the whole thing is negative, so throw a negative in front. I ran out of room down there. Hopefully your work would be a little nicer than mine. So negative 8/3 is your answer. Okay, so if you had a hard time with that, please go back, and if it doesn't make sense still, go back and do the work for U2A5. This is extremely important stuff. Extremely important stuff. You want to know the stuff inside and out before you leave grade 9. Okay, it matters for your mark, but it matters more for your future studies. Okay. Any questions? If you're still stuck, send me an email. I'll give you a bunch of questions, or if you just want a bunch of questions, I can make some up, and I can send them to you, and then you can try them, and we can go from there. Okay, take care. Bye.